welcome back to Champion the Passion, a weekly pro wrestling podcast where we inspire you to champion your passions and celebrate the joy of what you love. I'm your host. My name is Victoria Daisy, and today we're going to be recapping everything that happened last night on AEW Dynamite. But before we get started, don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms, and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. But let's dive right into the opening match. We had Hangman Adam Page, our AEW World Champion, versus Wheeler Yuta. Now, you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of Wheeler Yuta, so I won't praise him too much, but I will say that it definitely was a shorter match, which I was kind of shocked by, but it was really good for what we had. And of course, in the end, Hangman Adam Page won. And after the match, Hangman continued being the icon that he is, and he beat the crap out of Yuta, and he got chains and just made him bleed. It was beautiful. I loved it. It was great. But moving right along to the second match of the night, AEW announced that they are going to be doing a World Tag Team Championships Eliminator tournament, and the winner will get the winners will get a title opportunity at Forbidden Door, which is August 24th. So they're doing this whole tournament, and whoever wins it will then obviously face the champions at Forbidden Door for a title opportunity. So the first match in round one of this tournament, excuse me. If you guys saw yesterday's episode, I was stumbling on my words a bit. It seems like we're doing that today too. It's been a long week. Anyways, we had FTR versus Jet Speed. Now, this was an absolutely fantastic match, okay? The move sequences and spots were absolutely out of this world. I mean, these are two tag teams that I love getting to see. And then to see them collide was just chef's kiss. It was absolutely amazing. But then FTR won via cheating, which pissed me off. And after, Stokely got on the mic to try and rip apart Adam Copeland with his words, but it just didn't really work. And then Adam Copeland came out, but as you guys remember, Stokely told him, if you guys get near us, you're done, you're fired. So Adam said, oh man, I forgot I can't go down. So basically, I made a business deal with people who can. And then he dropped this little Easter egg right before they came out that was so it was such aura, guys. I can't even I need to rewatch it because it was so good. He was like, "Oh yeah, and they hurt people." When he said that, obviously we all knew who it was, and I literally jolted out of my seat screaming. And then the Hurt Syndicate came out, and they beat the crap out of FTR. Honestly, I was a little bit shocked, but they definitely got the job done, which is all that matters. Then after, we had a Will Ospreay segment, which I wasn't sure what to expect until the segment came, and Will came out to talk about how, he's been dealing with neck problems for the last 10 months, but has kept it quiet. And then when the Death Riders kind of did what they did recently, that just made it really bad. And he got rushed to the emergency room. And then he said that when he was there, they were doing MRIs and scans, and, they found a lot going on in his neck, and he said that thankfully this is treatable, so hopefully he will make his return just in time for Forbidden Door, which is at the end of August. So we have a couple more weeks till then. So wishing him a speedy recovery and looking forward to his return. But let's talk about the next match. We had Toni Storm versus Billy Starks. So this was interesting. This was surprisingly a good match. Now, to be honest, I haven't seen much of Billy in the ring, but I really liked what I saw. I thought she was really good, and I understand the hype around her now. And I felt like her and Toni worked really well together in the ring and really created a lot of fun moments. But of course, in the end, our AEW Women's World Champion, Toni Storm, took the W. But then after, Billy got mad that she lost, and she hit Toni with the AEW Women's World Championship. And then Athena came out to attack Toni as well, and it was this whole thing. And then Alex Windsor came out for the save ahead of her title opportunity against Athena this Saturday at Collision. So it was very fitting that she came out. And obviously, I don't know too much about Alex Windsor, but from what I've seen, I like it. I need to see more to become a fan, but from what I'm seeing, She seems pretty good. All right, then we had an MJF segment. So MJF came out, he got on the mic to talk about how he doesn't need help to win the AEW World Championship. And then he called Hangman a coward for not wanting to wrestle MJF because obviously we all know that he was the winner of the men's casino gauntlet match at All In. Therefore, he has the title opportunity literally in the palm of his hands and he gets to pick the time and place for that. So I'm really intrigued to see kind of when he pulls the trigger for that, but only time will tell. And then Mark Briscoe came out, which if you guys watched All In, then you remember, I believe, was he the first? I think he was the first entry for the Casino Gauntlet match. And so he came out and he accused MJF of stealing his win in the Casino Gauntlet match at All In. And then he was like, you know what? I'm going to challenge you to a match next week. And as far as my knowledge goes, I don't think it's been confirmed yet. I don't know. MJF didn't accept. Tony Khan hasn't made it official to my knowledge, unless it has been and I didn't see it. So I'm really curious to see if that's something we get. But MJF wasn't really fazed by anything that Mark Briscoe was saying, and he basically started just roasting the heck out of poor Mark. I feel so bad for him. And one thing is that MJF never shies away from joking or disrespecting Mark's late brother, Jay Briscoe. And I won't repeat anything that he said out of respect just because it was very low. But besides that, I do really love what they're doing between Mark and MJF. I think the storyline is really great, and I really could sit there and watch them inside and out of the ring for hours. And I just thought it was a really fun segment. I really loved it. Then we had our main event, Claudio Castagnoli versus Mark Briscoe, a nice little segue into the main event. So this was a really good match. I mean, I've never really seen the two of them in the ring before, so I thought that was really nice to see something new and fresh. I also thought that they worked really well together and were able to feed off of each other's energy really well. And both of them have very similar wrestling styles, and that made them collide very nicely. And I really enjoy the match. I thought there was some really gritty moments and there was a lot of storytelling involved, which leads me to my next point, that Darby Allin came out, which we love. I love that Darby's back. And so Darby came out to distract Claudio Castagnoli, which ended up leading, which ended up leading Mark Briscoe to winning. And after the match, Jon Moxley came out and he got on the mic to say that Hangman is not a real champion and that nobody should get too comfortable. And then obviously Hangman came out and he came out to stand up for himself and to say that he wants to prove himself in a match for the championship next week. And I just have to say, this really bothers me because I really felt like the perfect ending to this chapter was All In. I don't think you had to continue this at all for 1 second. So I don't know why they're continuing. I mean, maybe next week is the ending, but then that doesn't make any sense because I feel like the very triumphant victory for Hangman, that should have been the closing of this chapter. But whatever, we'll see what ends up happening and what the plans are. But let's head into my overall thoughts. I thought that it was a really good show. My match of the night was definitely the let me see if I get this right. The World Tag Team Championships Eliminator Tournament Round 1. There we go. Jet Speed versus FTR. I thought it was a action-packed, high-energy match, and I just loved it so much. I mean, all of them are literally wizards in the ring, and seeing them is just such a treat. Then my segment of the night was MJF and Mark Briscoe. I could watch those two, like I mentioned earlier, honestly, for hours. I just think they're so amazing, and the work that they do is incredible. Overall, I'd rate the show about a 7.5 out of 10. And I also wanted to remind you guys, I'm so sad. Today is my last episode of Champion the Passion before we go on our very short break. If you guys have been tuning in all week, I have been making these announcements, but I'll make the final announcement today that you guys know I do Champion the Passion 4 times a week. And my next episode would be a Friday Night SmackDown recap on Saturday in 2 days. But that is actually going to be the first day of my break. So the break that I am taking is going to be from July 26th to August 5th. And our episodes will resume August 6th. And the reason I'm taking this break is because I've mentioned 1,000 times before, I will be live in New Jersey for the first ever 2-night SummerSlam next week. And I could not be more excited. And so I'm just taking a little extra time off just to prepare myself, make sure I'm not going into this huge weekend feeling burnt out. And then I just want to feel inspired and ready to create and just have the best time ever. Plus, I'm going to be taking you guys along with me on some very fun adventures around New Jersey and New York City. So make sure to follow me me on my socials because I think that's going to be a lot of fun. But yes, I can't believe that we just hit 100 episodes yesterday, and then today is obviously the last episode before break, but it's going to be great. I'm so excited. When I come back, we will debrief everything that happened SummerSlam weekend, and then obviously get right back into regular schedule programming. But thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this episode of Champion the Passion. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms, and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. Don't forget to champion your passion and celebrate the joy in what you love. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.